Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am the Inconsequential Runner and it is race day. We are off to the races. So let's talk about that and what we can do to prepare for races. Hopefully I share a couple of new tips for you that make race day go a little bit better for you. Now, conscious of the fact I am shooting this video in my car, I want to assure you that I've very specifically chosen a piece of road that is very low hazard, and I've done everything I can to minimize risk. And I talk to myself in the car anyway, so the only difference is I am recording it. So I won't be making eye contact too often, every so often when I'm looking in my rearview mirror. Okay, you wanted to get that out of the way. It is race day. So today, what have we got on? We've got a relay. It's a mixed team relay, 2+2. So 2 men, 2 women, and yeah, just handing over the baton between us, 3.5 kilometer course. Now, what I do in terms of planning for a race is, firstly, I need to know when I'm going to stop my eating. So for me, over races, dozens and dozens of races where I've experimented with my eating, I need to stop 4 hours before a race. That is 10k or less. Anything longer than that, and I don't race many half marathons, then I'll eat closer to the time because it'll be an easier start. But for whatever reason, and this is the same with my training, when I'm doing some fartlek or some high intensity training, I need to stop eating 4 hours before. I just need 4 hours for the food to settle, and I don't eat too much too. We're talking like a lunch size sort of thing, not a snack, but a lunch size sort of thing. So 4 hours out. So what did I have today? 4 hours out, I had some grilled, roasted veggies. So a little bit of pumpkin, a little bit of kumara, a sweet potato, a little bit of onion, couple of eggs that were, what were they? Poached. And then a wholemeal pita bread stuffed with 1 banana and a little bit of peanut butter. Boom, that is it. And so by the time I race, so I think I'm on the 3rd leg, so I think that's going to be close to around about 3 o'clock, so I stopped eating at 11, so all good. Then the next thing is liquids. When do you stop with the liquids? And Coach Mark, and if you follow our videos, you'll know Coach Mark from some of the other videos, gave me this great scheme, and it's worked a peach for me, and that is just drink normally, taking a fair amount up to 2 hours before the race. And then once you're 2 hours before the race, just stop drinking, and then 15 minutes before the race, just have a couple of sips, stuff like that. Nothing much, maybe 100, 150 mils, so maybe a third to half a glass, and that's it. So yeah, the last 2 hours, and especially for today, I mean, it's 3.5k. I'm not going to lose too much hydration where it's going to affect me for that sort of distance. So 2 hours before, stop drinking, and that's great, especially for the 10k race. It means I can have a good warm up, and I don't need to wee during the 10k race. Or it's not whether or not you need to wee, it's that feeling of needing to wee, right? So, okay, so that's hydration, that's liquids. I have, hydration and liquids are the same thing, right? Nutrition and hydration, that's that covered off. Then the most important thing is, after those, is packing all my gear. I have a checklist. When I say checklist, it's nothing more than a piece of cardboard with just a list of things that I need to take. And I take the same race day bag all the time, so it's a dedicated race day bag. So that bag at any one time has 80% of the things on my checklist, including a plastic container full of just everything, like an emergency gel and safety pins, and oh gosh, what else is in there? Pens and paper, Nurofen or ibuprofen, paracetamol, that sort of thing. It's just a whole kit of things, almost like a first aid kit, but also all the other things I need. I've always got a spare change of underwear, shorts, socks in there, and those are the underwear I don't want to wear, the shorts I don't want to wear, the socks I don't want to wear. So I'm not taking them out of my rotation, I'm just putting them there as emergency where I would have otherwise thrown them out or something. So that's my bag checklist. As you get smarter and smarter with your checklist, and that's why I recommend just having it on a piece of cardboard, and just handwrite with a biro all the things you can think of, and the things that when you turn up to subsequent races and you go, oh, I wish I had, you add it to the checklist, so the checklist always stays in the bag. That's it. Just keep the checklist updated all the time. Check everything that's on the checklist is in the bag, and the bag goes in the car. Then, of course, on top of that would be, what do you need specifically for this event? So on the checklist, I'll say racing shoes, but I need to determine my racing shoes, and usually we're talking at least 2 pairs of shoes, one for warm-up, one for racing. Now, I might shoot another video on my way back about the stuff I need for after the race, and that does include gear I can get into that keeps me warm, even on a summer's day. Get in stuff that keeps you warm and helps with the recovery, but I'll talk about that after. But of course, you need to make sure you pack that before you go. Okay, the other thing is plan your journey. So I like to turn up at least bare minimum half an hour before a race. Now the reason why is because it takes me half an hour to warm up. So when you turn up half an hour before a race, you're not going to have half an hour warm up. You're going to have 20 minutes, which is absolutely bare minimum for me. Something like a 3.5k race, 5k race, even some of the real short distance relays, 2ks, I'm going to need more than half an hour warm up, or at least that half an hour is relatively intense, because I'm not going to be draining my battery, but I need to make sure that my legs are ready to go. Okay, so know how long it's going to take you to drive. Add whatever you want as a percentage. I'd add 10 minutes every hour. So if it's an hour drive, add 10 minutes to that, though most of our drives aren't that long, right? So if it's half an hour drive, add 5 minutes. Actually, add 5 minutes minimum. There we go. So 15-minute drive, make it a 20-minute drive. So you've just got time up your sleeve, you're not panicking, stuff like that. Alright, and that's pretty much it. So you leave on time, you're hydrated, you've had the right nutrition. I take a protein powder so I can have something straight after the race to help with the recovery. So getting in the protein powder, which helps with those building blocks that your muscles need for the recovery process. The other thing I'll say too is the mindset. Let's talk about the mindset pre-race. Don't take it too seriously. I mean, unless you're off to the world champs and you're doing something at that level or the national level or whatever, don't take it too seriously if that's going to inhibit your performance. If your performance is better when you take things seriously, then take it seriously if you want. Hopefully there's no other consequential cost of that, which is stressing yourself out, causes anxiety and stuff like that. So just balance up your performance with the level of anxiety and angst and everything that comes from that, and how important it is, and then just take it easy. So I talked about 2 pairs of shoes. Forgive me, I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm still adding, I'd like to think, some good stuff for you. The 2 pairs of shoes I take out. The race shoes, I always make sure they're in the back of the car. Are the race shoes there? And if they're not, do you know what? That's fine. And then the warm-up shoes go on my feet straight away. So at least I've got my warm-up shoes, knowing that I can always, by and large, race in those if I need to, if something happens. Which brings me to the last point. And actually, thank you if you've stayed here to the last moment, because this is the most important point. Something will always go wrong. Nothing ever goes to plan. I'm on the way to the relay, anything might happen. I might get caught up in a traffic jam, Might be in an accident myself. Might get there and find that I'm parking miles away. Might lose 6-7 minutes because I've got to stop for a toilet break on the way, and that was my buffer. When I get there, I might find that one of my teammates is sick and they couldn't turn up, because when we've got a relay of 4 people, you don't allocate 5 people to the relay of 4, you allocate 4. At any one time, anything could happen to the team. That's fine. You might have to do 2 legs. That's fine. It's a great story to tell. But know that something will go wrong. Something will happen. I shouldn't say go wrong, because that already puts you in a negative mindset. Know that something will happen. Something will happen that wasn't part of the plan. The fact that you know something will happen, just wait for it. Wait for it to happen. I'm not saying let it become a self-fulfilling prophecy or part of self-sabotage. Just be ready for it. Have the right mindset so you can deal with it. Something will go wrong. Whatever that thing is, you're losing sleep about it, getting angry about it, getting anxious about it doesn't help the situation. You have to be ready to fix the situation. So just be ready for that. Something will not go to plan. Be ready for it and then deal with it. That's it. That's it. Maybe, but certainly in some of my previous racing in other sports like BMX. Yeah, let me close with this one story. You've been very patient with me, I thank you. So yeah, there have been things that go wrong in races, and they've been some of my best races. So BMX, I was at the North Island Champs, and you do 5 rounds, and then the top 8 of all of the riders in your grade go through to the final. So I was just below, I was on 10th place, and I'd had a real bad draw. It's not a balanced draw. You can be super unlucky. In those 5 races, you could be racing the top guys all the time. They don't balance it out. So there's at least a 3-2 split. So everyone races each other either 3 or 2 times. It's really, yeah, the way they do the draw can be unbalanced. I had a massively hard first 4 races where I was just like in the wrong. Anyway, race 5, I needed a big result to get through to the next round, and thankfully the draw on that one wasn't so hard, but the top 4 was hard. So I knew if I rode a good race, I'd be, around about 5th place. So I had to ride a really good race to be above that. Anyway, I'm on my phone and I forgot I had my phone with me, because I'm on my phone in the pre-race area where they set you up and send you to the gates. So I've got nowhere to put my phone. So I had to race with it in my racing pants, and so the phone, you can feel it slapping around and everything like that. So already I'm like, dude, you've got a massive moto. That's what they call each race. It's only 40 seconds long. It's a moto. You've got a massive moto, and you're on the back. So here I am trying to find somewhere to put my phone, because I don't want to race with it on me, because it'll just flop around and stuff like that. Can't find a place. Right, I'm like, okay, I've got to put it in my shorts. And all the time I spent trying to find a place was costing me time to do up my helmet, get my gloves on, be set. So here I am on the gate. Everyone's like clipped into their pedals, all ready to go. I'm frantically doing all the last minute. I get it all just done before the gate controller goes, riders ready, and then it goes through the protocol, which doesn't take long. It's about 6 seconds. That's the noise it makes. Gate drops off. So I literally had about 2 or 3 seconds before he said riders ready, and we went through that protocol. Came second. Had a great race, because I could only do what I could do, and I had almost a steely focus on everything else has gone wrong. I need to just have the best race. So it sort of honed in my focus. And I've got other examples of that where, I turned up a race day and I had all the issues, my tyre blew out and I had to replace it moments before the next race. And those have by and large been good races. So why am I sharing this story with you? In part to suck up my drive time? No. But know that these things that don't go to plan, they don't necessarily correlate with worse performance. I mean, if you break your ankle before the start of a race, yes, that will impact your performance, because you probably won't race, right? Probably. but don't overly dramatize these things, because they might not affect your performance. In fact, they might be, and you might not know it yet because you haven't done the race, they might actually help. Okay, that's it. I'll wrap it up now. Thank you so much for your patience. Hopefully there was a list of things there that make sure they set you up well pre-race. So if you want to click off now, do it. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a quick summary. Put together your nutrition plan. Put together your hydration plan. My nutrition plan 4 hours before. Not a heavy meal, moderate meal. Then hydration. Drink up to 2 hours before. And then that stops. Making sure that I've got a race bag, a dedicated race bag, which I have a checklist to accompany it, and I make sure I have all the gear I need to go to the race. I've got the shorts I need, I've got the top I need, I've got my shoes, my racing shoes, and my warm-up shoes, which I put straight on my feet for the trip out there. Taking changes of clothes, of course, for the race, but also for after, making sure I've got what I need for after, which is usually just 2 things, primarily. Immediate nutrition, so for me that's protein powder and water, having that ready to go, and clothes, fresh clothes to get changed into afterwards. And that is it. Right, that's it. Take care. Thank you for staying to the end. Like, subscribe, all of that sort of thing, because I love it. I love it. No, not just for me. If you watch a good video that someone else produces and they offer you something that really helps you, give them a like. It's just a small click. Give them a like. And the other good thing too is you can search by your liked videos. So any video that offers you something special, by clicking on the like, when you go into all the videos you've liked, you've got all the best videos there that you might think, oh, you might remember, they had a great tip, I need to just refresh that tip. It's already there. You don't have to remember which video it was because you've liked it. So that's a good way to use the like field. Okay, I'm out of here. Take care. Enjoy your running. See you later.